All right, welcome to Coffee with Markus. This is episode 122, and today I'll show you what's happening in the market so that you know what's going on. And today we'll talk about the Santa Claus rally. What is it, and how can you take advantage of it? Anyhow, so after this, we're doing a deep dive to make sure that I'm answering your question, give you practical trading advice. Anyhow, does this all sound good? Then let's get started. This show is about real money and real trades. I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade, the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent, because that is the key to long-term success in the markets. So, if you are sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. All right, fantastic. So episode, what did we say? 122. We'll talk about what's happening in the markets. I'll show you what I traded today, and we'll talk about the Santa Claus rally. And yes, I should have worn a Santa hat, but today I'm playing with new toys. So I'll show you something today that I'll be doing here in this show, and I hope you're gonna like it. Anyhow, let's talk about the first segment, and let's talk about what is happening in the markets. And you see, this morning it looked good. I woke up this morning and the markets opened higher, but now they are lower. If you look at the Dow Jones, we are right now slightly down. So are we in the S&P. The Nasdaq still holding up, but especially the Dow Jones slightly down. So let's just take a look at this at a 5-minute chart. So here you see a 5-minute chart, and this is where we see what happened today. So here's my toy. Look at this. So, okay, this morning we opened higher, we gapped here. Then at first it looked like we were going higher, but now we have been sliding pretty much for most of the day. And this is why I'm so excited. I got a pen, I got an iPad, and I can mark. Really cool stuff on here. Anyhow, so what's happening? What is causing this slide down? Let's switch back here to a daily chart. And so here's what's happening today. First of all, what is moving the market? Well, of course, the news about the vaccine. And the vaccine from Pfizer is being delivered since yesterday, and it is as administered as we speak. 20 million people will get it over the next few days. What else is happening here that is moving the market? Well, stimulus talks, and this morning it sounded like, hey, we are making progress. What else is going on? Looking at forexfactory.com, as you can see, not a whole lot. Let me see if I can do a nice markup again. Look at this. So here today on Monday, we have nothing. On Tuesday, we have nothing. The biggie this week will be the FOMC economic projections and the FOMC statement on Wednesday. And we already know that this is probably where Powell will say, we need more stimulus. He has been saying it since early November, or maybe even late October. And this is where the markets are saying, okay, where is the stimulus here? But let's talk about really what the big deal is today. And the big deal, let me just get rid of this, is the fear that we might actually shut down the economy. So we are racing against the clock here. So take a look. This is where we see all the new cases here. Let me see. I should be able to also take a screenshot of this. Look at this. Okay. So as you can see, these are the daily new cases. And if you want to say that this was the first wave or the second wave and now the third wave, or depending on how you call it, the second wave here is the most severe. And as you can see, there is no stopping it whatsoever. And this is what right now the markets are mainly concerned about, because you see, Germany already decided that Germany will be shutting down on Wednesday. And in the UK, London will be placed into England's toughest tier of coronavirus restrictions also on Wednesday. Now, as you know, in New York, there's no more indoor dining, and the mayor of New York said today that residents should be prepared for the possibility of a full shutdown. So this is what is worrying the markets right now. This is why we are moving lower. Let's see, what else do we have? I just wanted to make sure that with my new toy here where I'm playing around, that everything is still good. And it seems it is. Seems that my sound is a little bit high. So I'm doing this. Okay, let's talk about also what happened last week. Last week we had the biggest IPOs, not the biggest IPOs, but super important IPOs. Here we had DoorDash on Wednesday and Airbnb on Thursday. And people ask me all the time, why don't you invest in IPOs, or how can I get into IPOs? And you know what? My answer is don't do this. I mean, look at this. DoorDash last week opened higher. So this is where, oh gosh, I love my new toy. I hope that you love it as much as I do. This here, right here, at around 183 is where we opened. We went as high as 194. This was 183 where we opened. And look at this. Today, we are at 158. So this, obviously, is not going well. So let's actually take a look at the other one, Airbnb. Oops, there we go, Airbnb. So Airbnb, very, very, very similar pattern here, right? I mean, if you look at this, you already see we opened here at around 146. This was the first print, went all the way up to 165. And where are we today? Right now, we are sitting at 130. So this is why I don't like investing in these IPOs, because as you can see, it does not make sense at all. So the question now is, so what do I do? What am I trading? And as you know, if you have been following me here for a while, you know that I like to trade two different strategies. So I like to trade the PowerX strategy, and this is where I've already written a book on this. The PowerX strategy, if you would like to have a copy of the book, there's a link in the description where you can get it for $4.95. Just pay shipping and handling. This is one of the strategies, and the other one is the wheel strategy. Let's talk about PowerX Optimizer first. So this morning, I woke up, and as every morning, I'm running the scanner on PowerX Optimizer. And this is what I did here. So I looked at the stocks that came up, and there were 4 stocks that came up on the scanner: GNMK, NVAX, Novavax, PLT, and RUN. And to be honest, I didn't really like any of these 4. So they didn't look good to me because, as you know, when I'm looking at these symbols that are coming up on the scanner, I'm looking for 3 things. I'm looking for trendability, I'm looking for gappiness, and I'm also looking to see if we have a nice P&L. And here I just want to show you here as one example, GMX in terms of, there we go, in terms of gappiness. So we see that there's a gap there, not really too concerning, but if you look for trendability, we see that it has been going rather flat right here in this area. Then it went up, so this is where what was really nice, and now we are kind of flat again. And see, this is why I didn't like GMK. And also looking at the P&L graph, we see that originally we went up, but then since we have been going flat, we're pretty much just going sideways. And looking at the other stocks, there was also really nothing that excited me. And this morning, coming into it, I already had 5 position actually. So the one that I need to add to this is LL. So I did Lumber Liquidator, LL on Friday. Here we go. So let's add this. And all of these were looking actually pretty good. As you can see, all of these are long positions. And AM this morning, I was actually able to take profits. Let's just go over there. Let's take a look at all these positions here live in the markets right now. So AM is a position where, according to the PowerX Optimizer, oops. Now there was my, let's see if I can get my toy going here again. There we go. Okay. So looking at AM, let's just bring it up. So PowerX Optimizer told me earlier to already close part of the position, and today I decided to close the remaining half of the position. So AM here, really nice trade that PowerX Optimizer picked. Total $1,200 here in profits. Now MUR today a little bit down, but as you can see, everything is still nice and green. I entered at 1124 and right now we are at 1288. BKU doing really well. I need to actually mark. I can do this here together with you. BKU, where did I get in? So BKU, and I'm going back to the chart here, we entered at 32.15. So we might as well do this here together. And let me just see if this works at, if I can plot a horizontal line here. Not a horizontal ray, a horizontal line. No, with my new toy, I can't do this. So anyhow, I'll do this. I'll do this another time. But yes, BKU here, another position that I'm in right now also with the overall market pulling a little bit back, but still nicely in green. PVAC looking good. So we entered here at 9.86, right now at 10.15, so slightly up there. And there's Lumber Liquidator. Lumber Liquidator a little bit down for today, but overall it's not too bad. So overall it's a mixed day. A few positions are up. AM closing with a profit here, so this worked out really well. And I'm happy with the other positions that I have, because according to PowerX Optimizer, there's nothing to do. All of them are still nicely in green. So let's talk about the other strategy, the second trading strategy that I trade, and this is the wheel trading strategy. And right now I do not yet have a book for you, but I have a link, and I'm linking to it in the playlist if you want to know what's going on. So let's take a look at the wheel and let's see what is happening there. So with the wheel, completely different strategy here than the PowerX strategy. So with the PowerX strategy, we try to take advantage of a direction in the market. With the wheel trading strategy, we want to see a sideways market, and we want to see that a stock price stays above a certain level. When it does, we are collecting a premium for being right. So it's almost like placing an educated bet and saying, okay, if I'm right, great. If not, I'm getting assigned that stock, and then I'm selling calls against it. And again, there's there's something in the playlist here. So let's just see. We are... Okay, I just want to make sure that we still have sound, that we still have video here, because again, I am playing around with the new toy and I'm loving it. Hope that you like it as well. I'll take a look at the comments here in just a minute. So let's take a look at our positions here. Goose, actually, we can start from last week. So we had PZZA, which expired worthless on Friday. So we kept all the money there. So this worked out really well. OSTK was another bet that we placed last Friday. We wanted OSTK by Friday to stay above 52.50. It did. So we made money there. iRobot, so this here also pretty good. We wanted it to stay above 72. That worked out well. So all of these finished with a profit. I actually can probably bring it up here really quick so that we can take a look. Let me just bring up the other screen and make sure that we can take a look of how much money we made on these. And yes, it works! Magic of technology. So on PZZA, let's take a look at this. We made $255. On OSTK, we made $250. And on IRBT, on iRobot, we made $140. So all of this good. The only position that was open from Friday was Goose, Goos. And we want Goose to stay above 31 by this Friday. And yes, I switched back to my iPad. And as you can see right now, it looks like right now we are below 31. So as you can see, we can zoom in here a little bit, that you see right now we are below the strike price of 31. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter just yet, because we want to see what it does by Friday. So as long as we are above 31 on Friday, we are good to go. And if not, we get assigned Goose at 31 and we will sell calls against it. This is part of the wheel strategy. If you're new to this channel here and don't know yet what this is, I'll link to it in the description. Please take a look at the videos, because then when you're joining us the next time, you see exactly what's going on. So also on this channel here, these are real trades. These are live accounts. This is not hypothetical. Oh, you could have done this or you should have done this. No, these are real trades, and I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I show you the profitable trades, and I also show you when I have losing trades. But let's take a look at the positions that I entered today before we talk about the Santa Claus rally, what it is, what's causing it, and how you can take advantage of this. So let's go back to the two trades that the scanner found today. So as you know, if you do have PowerX Optimizer this week, probably towards the end of the week, we will release an update that includes a scanner for the wheel. So in the same way as right now, PowerX Optimizer is giving you the best stocks to trade according to the PowerX strategy, in the next update, which is coming this week, you will also get a scanner where PowerX Optimizer shows you the best trades according to the wheel strategy. So for both strategies, you will then have a scanner. So let's see what came up here this morning. So this morning, AZN AstraZeneca came up with a strike price of 49. So we want to make sure that AstraZeneca stays above 49 by Friday. And if this is the case, we'll make around $200 here. And as you can see right now, we're moving a little bit lower. So looking at the account and our position right now, we are down $25, as you can see here. This is what we have right here. But hey, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm pretty sure that we'll be fine. Otherwise, we get assigned as AstraZeneca and sell calls against it. So again, with the wheel strategy, I've been trading it now for 4.5 months. And if you look at this, you see this is a rather small account of $50,000, up almost $16,000. And thus far, not a single losing trade yet. Wait. I need to correct it. There was one losing trade of $60. But you see, making $16,000 and having a loss of $60 is not too bad. And if you have been following me for a while, you know that this is what we have been doing here together. Okay, so this is what AstraZeneca is. And then the other trade that we have is SPWR. SunPower, so here SunPower, we wanted to stay above 19 by the end of the week. And if this is the case, then we'll also probably make around $200, maybe $150. So this is our goal here. And let's just see where we stand with this one. So I'm switching over to the other screen. And as you can see, SPWR doing really well thus far. Let's switch over to this screen. There we go. Thus far, already up $98. And I just entered it a few hours ago. So already up $100. So we might be able to close this maybe tomorrow with the full profit already. So this would be nice. Anyhow, so this is what's going on in the trading world. This is how I'm trading these crazy markets right now. And yes, right now the markets are moving lower. Okay, so in a moment we're going to talk about the Santa Claus rally, and then I will take a look at your questions. Because I appreciate you being here, being live with me. If you're watching the recording, leave a question in the comments. I mean, just this morning, I spent another hour and a half to go through all the comments. I think I'm pretty caught up. So I have a few more left, but I'll look at all the comments. So please leave them here. Or if you're live right here, this is where you should see the chat box. Okay, let me do some magic here so that we can talk about the Santa Claus rally, what it is, what is causing it, and how you can take advantage of this. And in order to do this, I'm going to the spiders and I'm doing this. And I'm switching to a weekly chart. And I'm getting rid of this. And yes, I know that you're not seeing it right now because this is what I'm prepping here for this video. So let's talk about it. What is the Santa Claus rally and how can you take advantage of it? Well, first of all, let's talk about what is the Santa Claus rally. And the Santa Claus rally refers to the last 5 trading days, five trading days in December, and the first 2 trading days in January. And so this is where the stock almanac has found out, so has been tracking what happened during this 7-day period from 1999. And so you see, since 1969, when this was first acknowledged, it seemed that 77% of the time the market is moving higher. Let's see. There we go. So this is the phenomena called Santa Claus rally. And let me just show you here an example so that you see what is happening. So this here is a chart that I found from Dow Jones market data, and it's on Banyan Hill. This is the website where it was published. And you see this is the 7-day Santa Claus rally trading range. And as you can see, this is where often we are making some nice profits in these 7 days. Only a few times we are making a loss. So this is what is referred to as the Santa Claus rally. So let's talk about what is causing the Santa Claus rally. And you see there are three reasons for the Santa Claus rally. And the first is that holiday shopping is boosting the economy, right? It usually boosts the economy and retailers, so holiday shopping is one of the reasons of it. Number two is often around Christmas, people get bonuses. And what do you do with the bonus if you don't spend it on presents? You invest it, right? And invest some of it in the stock market. So these are reasons, but the biggest reason of why Santa Claus rally is happening is for tax reasons. And let me explain this. You see, investors sell losing stocks to write off the losses. So if you had a good year and you're making money, then right now you have a few losses that you can get rid of, right? So you sell it, you realize the loss, and therefore you can deduct the loss from the wins that you had. Now, when you're selling something, what does it do? It frees up cash. So when there's cash, they need to invest it again, and this is why they are buying more stock. So these are the three reasons of why the Santa Claus rally is happening. So now the next question is, how can you take advantage of this? Well, and before you think, oh my gosh, all I need to do is buy in 5 trading days before the new year and then hold it until January 1st, not so fast, because here's the deal. It only works 77% of the time. Now, why do I say this? Only? I mean, this is not bad at all, right? Well, you see, this is where it works until it doesn't. And let me actually jump here on the charts and show you what happened last year. Because if last year you thought, oh my gosh, this would be amazing, let's do this. So I'm going back to, there we go. 2019. No, it was in 2018. Here we go. So let me just show you of what happened there. So in September 2018, this is a weekly chart. And here is what happened in December 2018. And as you can see, there can be a significant down move by the end of the year. So this is why I always say it works until it doesn't. And you see, the other thing is it doesn't really work for every stock. So it doesn't work for every stock. So you could, for example, buy the index, but is this really the best thing to do? So let me tell you what I'm doing in the last 5 days, trading days of the year, and the first 2 trading days of the year. Well, first of all, you know me. I like to trade what I see, not what I think. So, and whenever you have a bias like, oh, there will be a Santa Claus rally, right? You're getting clouded by the bias. Let's have a coffee quickly. So I will keep an eye on it and see what is happening here. And this is where, again, I trade what I see, not what I think. And honestly, during these 7 days, I usually take off. So this is where I usually really spend some time away from the markets. I mean, I'm watching the markets every single day, pretty much the whole year. So this is a good time to stay away from the market because especially when you're a trader, volume is very thin during this time. And so I personally don't like trading during this time. Anyhow, now you know what the Santa Claus rally is. There we go. What is causing it? How you can take advantage of it if you choose to do so, and you know exactly what I'm doing. So let me ask you, was this helpful at all? Because if it is, and if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click on like so that more people will see it. And if you would like to see more videos like this, then click on subscribe. Also hit the little bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video. And also, as always, feel free to share this video on Facebook, on Twitter, and Reddit, by email, whatever it might be. And I will then see you in the next video. All right, don't go anywhere because as you know, we're now doing the deep dive where we are taking a look at your questions. And I know that right now my setup is a little bit awkward because I'm playing around with my handy dandy notepad and my iPad, as you can see. So that is the iPad Pro, that I can have some cool annotations because I thought it would be fun. So I started playing around with it yesterday, and today is the first show where I'm actually really using it. And I'm hoping that you are enjoying it as much as I like playing around with it. And again, today was the first day. I promise that I'll get better, and I also probably will have a better setup because as I'm looking in the camera, I have my iPad here, and now my computer where I see all of your comments is a little bit off the side. So this is why I'm looking a little bit to the side here. Anyhow, good. All right. So Michael said, I was expecting a Santa hat, and you know what? I was really thinking about a Santa hat. The challenge is I was really still playing around with my toys. So, gosh darn, I'll bring a Santa hat next time here. Anyhow, good. So John says the TGTX call that I bought 3 weeks ago, according to the PowerX optimizer, is positive. Yay! 3 times the premium that you paid. So you made 300%, right? Or 200%, depending on how you want to count it. I would say it's 300%. So that's great, right? I mean, take the money. This is great. So John is asking, should I buy the stock at the strike price and then sell the stock or sell the call? I would just sell the call. I mean, sell it, take the money, right? Why would you bother around with the stock? I mean, right now you're doing good, so take money off the table here. That's what I would do. And again, I'm not licensed to give personal advice. What I'm doing here on the show is showing what I do, what works for me, and I'm sharing what I would do. So please take it as an opinion because that's what it is. Anyhow, so good to see everybody. Good. Well, just started watching me on YouTube. You impressed? Thank you. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you're sharing the video, hit like, and all the good stuff here. Okay, good. Eeyore says, love the new toy. So do I. Actually, this is as surprising as it is. So I can show you here. You see, this is where I'm drawing on the iPad. There you go. This is an iPad 2nd generation. I've had this forever and a day. And I have not really been utilizing it as much as I want to. And this is where I found with the latest version, the OS 14, that it can do some things that I always wanted to do. And this is why I decided to do it. I really upgraded it last weekend. Okay, anyhow. Good. Derek, the 5K generosity. Yes, so here's what happened. Last week, we crossed 50,000 subscribers, and I was super excited about this. And this is where I said, you know what? I'm giving away $5,000 for everybody who last week shared this show here with others. And so the team is still following up with you and saying, okay, would you like to have $100 in cash, or would you like to have a $500 credit towards any of our courses or products and services? Or maybe you would like to buy 100 books. Maybe you would like to buy 100 books. If this is the case that you want to maybe buy and give away, let us know, right? If you were a contest winner here. Anyhow, good. So Nasira asks, is this a sellout for the end of the year? What's happening today? No, let's just go back to the markets here for a moment so that you see what is happening. What's happening here today is just a little bit of concern, right? So here we are looking at the S&P 500. So we're going a little bit down, but overall, I mean, look at this. The S&P 500 is down 0.4%, and the Dow Jones is down 0.5%. The Nasdaq is up 0.7%. So this is not really a sell-off or anything like this. It's just a little bit of concern. Will we shut down, and how will this impact the economy? But great question here. Okay, good. All right. So, and there is the closing bell. So markets are closed, and they closed lower in the Dow Jones and S&P, and the Nasdaq is still up for the day. Anyhow, good. So John is asking, know your feelings about IPOs. What about SPACs? You see, there's so many SPACs out there, and SPACs is a special purpose acquisition company. And so if a company, for example, does not want to go through the IPO process, they are acquiring one of these SPACs that is already trading there, and then, boom, it shoots up, right? I think SPCE is who did it. Can't remember who else. So there were recently a few. The challenge is you need to find the right one, right? And this is where, for me, it's almost like penny stocks. Do you have penny stocks that are going from 50 cents or $1 to $10, $20, $50? Absolutely. But the key is finding the right one. And to me, this is just too cumbersome to go through this and trying to find the right one. So for me, it's definitely easier to trade according to the PowerX strategy and the wheel strategy. So this is just me, but great question here. Good. Caleb is asking, how do you keep up so well with what's going on in the market? Drowning in news every day. Well, Caleb, just watch the first 10 minutes of this show, because this way you know what is going on. So I'm reading a few newsletters in the morning, and I did a video on this of how to start your trading day. I'll link to it in the description, and probably also here in the chat, that you can take a look at this at the newsletters that I read. And one of the newsletters is the one that Mark and I are writing every day. But it's for me fairly easy. You see, Caleb, I don't know what you do professionally. In your profession, it's probably super easy to stay on top of what's happening in your industry. And here for me, I love looking at the markets, love trading the markets. And this is why, for me, it's just super easy. But anyhow, so hope that you're enjoying this part where I just summarize of what's happening, what to look out for, and what is moving the markets here right now. Okay. So Caroline is asking, IPOs long-term is good to know. Short term, maybe not. Maybe, or maybe not, right? I mean, let me just show you, because there's a lot of questions right now around IPOs. Let's just take a look at some of the IPOs that were really super popular. Uber, that happened last year, right? So let's just zoom in here a little bit so that you see. I'm actually switching to a weekly chart. So this way you see better of what's happening. So this here, a weekly chart. And as you can see, let me just bring up my markup tool here, because I think it's important that we take a look at this of what exactly happened here to Uber. So we opened at around $40. And then very similar to what we see happening right now in DoorDash and also in Airbnb, at first the hype fizzles off and we are going down again. Then it's not going anywhere. And often what you see, let me just see, I don't have the earnings on there, but often what you see is that, let me just remove these scribbles, that when the first earnings are coming out, so when you have a little E here, and for the first time they're reporting earnings, this is when often they're going down. And then after a while, they figure out what's happening. Now this year is caused by the COVID pandemic. So I wouldn't pay attention to this here really that happened there. And you see, after a while, yes, Caroline, that's probably what you're referring to. It goes up. But really, do you want to wait that long? Think about, let me just show you another one that happened a while back, Twitter, right? So Twitter, let's take a look at this. Also looking at weekly charts here, zooming in a little bit so that we see Twitter over the past few years, ever since they had their IPO. So here we go. And this is where you see Twitter started right here at around $44, went up, then didn't go anywhere, then probably at some point reported earnings. The The markets didn't like it. It went anywhere. It went nowhere. And right now, we are pretty much where we opened when Twitter originally started trading. So, Caroline, this whole IPO game, I know it's always so interesting when you hear, oh, it's up 180% on the first day. Well, it wasn't, because by the time it started trading, right, they set a price of $60 and then started trading at $140, but you're not getting in at $60, right? I mean, other people are getting in at $60, not you and I, right? And then you will buy in when it started trading publicly. So I wouldn't worry about this. Don't focus on the IPOs. There was a time when it was really great to trade the IPOs. Recently, for the past few years, it hasn't been anymore. But great question here. Okay, Hinman is asking, can PowerX take a ticker not in the scanner and give you a report of whether it makes sense to invest? Absolutely. I actually did it the other day. Let me just show you, because one of the things, I was just curious and I wanted to see Pfizer, because everybody right now is super interested in Pfizer. I wanted to see if you had traded Pfizer, PFE, according to the PowerX strategy over the past year, would it have made sense? And as you can see, no, not at all. So this is where, again, my handy dandy markup tool here, because with this, what I really like about it, look at this, I can zoom in so that you see the numbers. So if we had traded Pfizer according to the PowerX optimizer over the past year, we would have made only a measly 9.1% ROI. And here is why. Here's why. Let me just show you. We would have had 9 wins and 10 losses, but the challenge here is the profit factor. It means that for every dollar lost, you only made $1.21, $1.22. Okay, let me just get rid of this and let me see if I can zoom out. There we go. So, and this is because Pfizer does not meet my criteria for good trades according to the PowerX strategy. So again, we talk about trendability and no gappiness. You see, we have a gap here, we have a gap here, we have a smaller gap here. And in terms of trendability, this here is rather flat. This part here is rather flat, so not a whole lot going on, and therefore it's not a great candidate for the PowerX strategy. Now, it does not mean that Pfizer is not a good company, just not for this particular strategy. So this is why I use the scanner, that I only see those stocks who are perfect candidates for the strategy, right? So that's why my life's easier. But yeah, Hinman, you can enter any symbol you want to see what would have happened over the past year if you had traded this symbol, for example, PFE, according to the PowerX strategy. Okay, yeah, Lorena, thanks for answering. Absolutely. Derek says, with this new toy, reminds me of Madden doing his plays. Yeah, I think especially the one that I just did with the IPO, this looked really like a Madden football play, I guess. Anyhow. Good. Okay, Kenny says, thanks for your videos. Finishing your PowerX book. I want to try that strategy. What should I do next? Next, if you don't have the PowerX optimizer yet, consider this, because it'll make your life so much easier. And then, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you get the PowerX optimizer or not. Practice on a simulator, and I've made 2 videos on this of why you should use a simulator. That's one video, and what is the best trading simulator to use, and I'll link to it in the description, because this way you know exactly what to do for the next step. Great question here. Good. Caleb is asking, is it okay to exit the rest of AM before reaching the profit target? I did it today because on Friday, the options expire. And I think we talked about it in the previous Coffee with Markus. The question was, so what do you do if you see that the options that you bought are expiring? And this is where I said I use discretion and exited usually on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And this morning, when I looked at the computer and the markets open, AM was really jumping up. Let me just show you of what happened here to AM this morning. So if we go to AM, actually I'll do it here on this might be a little bit easier, and I'm going back to a daily chart. Actually, let me show you what happened here on a 5-minute chart, and need to zoom in, need to do this. Okay, I'm still learning my new toy here. So looking at a 5-minute chart earlier this morning here, we were just nicely going higher. So this is where we opened here this morning. Let me just use my markup tool. So for AM, this is where we opened today. And you see, at this point, we were trading at a pretty high level. And this is why I thought, okay, I'm probably 10 cents shy of my profit target. But if I'm closing it right now, I would make $1,200. And this on a rather small account. This on a $20,000 account. And making $1,200 here in profits, right, on a $20,000 account. This is where we can use a handy dandy calculator. Let me just bring it up here and see how much in percent that is. So this is here a solid 6%, right? And this was 6% on just one position, and you know that I like to have 5 positions, so this is not bad at all, and therefore I chose to take profits here. But yeah, good question. Let me get my handy dandy calculator out of the way. There we go. All right. So good to see you. And Braulio is asking, I'm asking for a platform for new trading for new that Ivan opened an account for under 5K. Okay, so just very briefly, it is super difficult to make money on less than $5,000. Often this is where you hear the statistic that 90% of traders lose money, and they even say 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. Those are usually the ones with small accounts. And I know it's counterintuitive because you say, well, I just start with $100. Think about it this way. Think about like playing poker, right? And let's say that you know how to play poker and you have an edge. And you go to a poker table and you only have $100 in chips. And everybody else has $5,000, $10,000. Well, what's happening? What's happening, right? I mean, this is where you cannot play long enough. You're just getting priced out. And this is what's happening here as well. So, Braulio, it is super difficult to do it on less than 5,000. I highly recommend. No, it's so intriguing to start with a small account, but I consider $5,000 small. Save up some more money and then start with at least $5,000 and grow it with options using the PowerX strategy. Okay, good. So yeah, you can open a smaller account, but then what? Then you do what? Okay. Good. All right. So let's see. What else do we have here? Jody says, like your new pen toy. Jody, actually, good. I'm glad that you're here. We tried to contact you because you sent me a picture of your trading space at some point, Jody, and I was really impressed. I thought this is so cool, and I was wondering, what do you do for a living? So if you could give maybe Debbie a call. She called you last week, and I will tell you then in the next episode probably of why I'm asking this. So there's a very specific reason. Jody, so good to see you here. Do me a favor. Debbie called or texted you last week. Call or text her back because we have a very specific question for you. Okay, good. All righty. So let's see. What else? Maddie says, would like to see behind the scenes of your desk setup. You know what? We can probably do this. I will set up a second camera. This way you can probably see of what I'm having here. So I have a monitor there. Right, envision it, right? I have a computer here. I have my new toy here. And then I have my control panel where I'm switching back between my iPad and then what I'm sharing here on the other screen, where, for example, we look at the account or at my handy dandy notepad, right? This is what I do there, or whether I'm coming back to you or hiding this last comment. So this is where I have a little. Well, do you want to see my little control panel? Let me just show you. I'm pretty sure that I can do this without destroying anything. So it's on an iPad. You see, this is where my little control panel is, and if I want to show my iPad, I push this button, and then it's showing my iPad. And if I want to show my account, I'm pushing this button, and then you see my account. And then if I want to come back full screen, I'm pushing this button, and hey, here I am again, right? And so this is where if I want to bring up a comment, so Maddie, for example, would like to see this, and then I can say hide comment, can do this, right? Or I can say, hey, if you have any questions, please do me a favor and call or text the office. Look at this, right? And see if we have any specials for you right now, because I'm pretty sure that right before Christmas, we are currently running some specials. So if you're interested in any of the tools or courses that we have, contact the office. And if you're interested in joining the mastermind, then contact Lisa. Look at this. So it's so cool. And here, oh my gosh, I got to show you this. Here I see how many of you are currently watching. See, 399. I know it's a little bit blurry. 399. Let's see if we have one more viewer joining us before we wrap it up here, so that we can crack 400 live viewers here. This would be amazing and would make my day. And I'm looking at the 399, and it is still only 399. Anyhow, good. Anyhow, so I'll see if I can give you a little bit more behind the scenes of what's going on here when I'm producing the show. I'm having a blast doing these shows, so I'm so happy that you're here watching this live. If you're watching the recording, leave a comment below and make sure that you're sharing this video, that you're liking this video. This way it gets picked up by the YouTube algorithm. I have great plans for next year. Using this toy here, as I did today, is just part of it. I have some more great plans for 2021. So stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on Wednesday in the next Coffee with Markus Live. Take care and have a great rest of your afternoon.